Welcome in, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. I'm fixing some things on TikTok really quick here. All right, welcome. Thanks for joining. Hello. We are going to play some Blaster Master. See, Scott Field has liked the live. Thank you, Scott. Daryl Moore has liked the stream. Thank you, Daryl. Hopefully we see more of you. I'm going to get out the comments. Make sure and hit that like button, hit that share button if you are able to. All right. All right, Blaster Master is such a good game. Happy day to the A2D fam. What's going on? Playing something totally different today. Starting with a little Blaster Master. Thank you for the 8 reactions, everybody. That's super awesome of you guys. Appreciate it. Here we go. All right, welcome. Thanks for joining. Hello. Welcome to the show. It's the Wednesday show. Good morning, Kevin McElroy. Love Blaster Master. Never got to play the second one though. Me neither. Me neither. Ooh. Here we go. What's up, Marcos Samuel? How are you doing? Welcome in, Andy Watson. Hello, buddy. Happy Meditation and Talk Like Yoda Day. Yes, I looked it up. That's great. Happy Meditation and Talk Like Yoda Day. Hey, Kofax, how's it going, buddy? Real quick here, I need to edit a couple things. Hold on just a minute. Here we go. I'm gonna edit this too really quick here. Perfect. Howdy, partner. What's up, bearded wrestler? Welcome in. What's up, Shane? Here we go. Welcome. I don't know if y'all have played this game before, but this game is super fun. He said, doing good. How are you? To Shane. I got my coffee. Yeah, this is a game you don't see streamed very often, you're right.
And the soundtrack is...
The soundtrack is good. I'm gonna Google Translate what this guy is saying really quick.
Thanks for the follow!
Thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, the soundtrack is good. What's up, Gordo's Games? Here we go. Things have been busy this morning, man. I've been up since 9:30, but it's just been constant busy. And a lot of the main reason why I can't go live as quickly as I want to when I wake up is because I have to get Nathan, like, basically... Lucas and Eli are easy. You feed them and they play. You know, you feed them and they just play. Play. But Nathan requires a lot of, you know, like, give him a bottle, feed him. You know, it's just a lot more work with baby Nathan. So things will level out. Much respect. Thanks, Golden Gamer. I love raiding your streams, man. Welcome in. So things will level out though and get easier over time. And Cortina needs to figure out a new streaming schedule, I think. And I think what I'm gonna have her do is, like, she needs to start doing, like, morning streams on her days off, I think. And she needs to focus on creating short form videos, because it's hard for her to live stream at night, and it pushes back my live stream at night like crazy. So I'm gonna work. She's trying to think about a new schedule, and I'm thinking that might work the best, like, because I can handle the kids from like 9 a.m. to, like, you know, noon while she streams. She can even get like a good 3-hour stream, and then I'll go live for a little bit. But anyway, I need the night open. I need to be able to go live from like 10 to like 12:30, and then I can get up early. Because if I can start earlier, I can end earlier, I can get up earlier. Except Fridays and Saturdays. But Sunday through... I think Sunday night, strictly GTA, has been so much fun. I'm almost considering eventually doing Saturday night just GTA as well. Doing 2 nights just GTA. And really getting it out of our system for the week. 2 nights of mayhem. Yeah, GTA is super fun. Alright, here we go. Now we can exit the level. Here we go. You see how much more powerful my blast is now? Let's see here. There we go. Yeah, GTA is super fun. You can't jump up very high with this thing. I haven't had any breakfast yet today either. I've been mainly feeding everyone else. Getting everyone else taken care of. There we go. And so much faster out of the water. Sweet. Those things are ruthless. Ruthless.
What's your favorite coffee flavor?
If I had to choose a flavor, it'd probably be mocha, like double chocolate. What about you? And here we go.
Iced mocha with chocolate cold foam.
Alright, here we go. I got a lightning bolt that I can use on these guys. Perfect. Chocolate! Here we go. Oh man, come on. Jeez Louise. Iced mocha with cold... Oh, I love cold foam. We have some cold foam right now in the freezer, or in the fridge. So my lady, she works for a coffee place with green aprons, but I can't say which one. And so I'm very familiar with cold foam. It's delicious. I love the caramel cold foam, salted caramel cold foam.
I can't remember if it was you. Sponsored by a coffee company. Did you get your own flavor?
I was sponsored by a coffee company for a little while when I was with X-Bit Gaming a long time ago. We were sponsored by, and it wasn't just me, it was X-Bit that was sponsored. And it was, I forget what the coffee name was. Like it was something that had to do with like a skeleton. I don't 100% remember. Phil, do you remember the coffee company name? Because X-Bit was sponsored by a coffee company for a little bit. I was sponsored by a beef jerky company. I was sponsored by Beef Jerky Outlet for a little while. Thank you, Phil.
And Firehouse Subs.
Firehouse Subs never went through. I was only like I was sponsored by Firehouse Subs for like the littlest amount of time, and that guy was
you are a naughty boy.
It wasn't Death Wish, no. No, it wasn't Death Wish Coffee. Thank you for the stars, Phil. So I was sponsored by an independent guy who like sold video games, and he called himself Art City Gaming. I was sponsored by a guy called himself Everyone's Entertainment, and he was just too all over the place, man. He's a nice guy, but he was young, and he was like 10 years younger than me, and he paid me like $100 a month for the sponsorship, just to put his logo up in the stream or whatever. So that was $100 a month that I counted on for a while. Man, motherfucker. You rock, Phil. Thank you for getting it started, buddy. Let's see here.
I'll believe that when my ship turns purple and smells like rain.
I was sponsored by Shelter Friends, which was a like a animal. It wasn't a rescue, but she like helped people. Right. It wasn't bad, right? So, and I made decent from Beef Jerky Outlet. Like Beef Jerky Outlet, I got $300 when I first started Beef Jerky Outlet. I got $300 in product a month just to eat on camera. So I would go into Beef Jerky Outlet and I would literally just like pick out stuff to try on camera, and it was so much fun. That was a lot of fun because I was like, ooh, look at these, you know, hardened cheese cracker style things. I bet I can put these in soup. Or look at this, you know, honey, this different honey. I can, you know, dip my beef jerky into honey, and ooh, that's really good. Like, you know, like, so I got $300 worth of product every month, plus I got 5% of any sales. So, I was sponsored by the toy store, Toys of Our Youth. That guy was the biggest a-hole, actually. So that ended on a really funny note. So, that ended on a very funny note. So, like, I would gather up a group of people who were, like, local, okay?
That's
and
awesome.
I would...
Now you can do that, and people will buy on TikTok Shop.
I was sponsored by a toy store, and I would, like, go live at the same time as him when he was doing his auctions, and I would, like, tell people, hey, you know, toy store's doing an auction right now, go over there, blah blah blah. You know, and he would send people my way. Well, he only gave me like 5%, a 5% discount or whatever, and like $20 a month in store credit for the, and I you know, eventually I realized that I was worth a little more, and I wanted more money. I wanted 10%, and I wanted, you know, like, and he's like, that cuts into my margin too much. I'm like, well, if that's cutting into your margin too much, then, you know, yeah, Scott was there. Scott went with us. We went to Beef Jerky Outlet. We went to Toys of Our Youth, and then we went to a place called Two Plumbers Arcade. So a person who was with me on this journey is in the chat right now. My buddy Scott was there. Thank you, Joseph. And anyway, Scott, do you remember we went to Beef Jerky Outlet first, and we got all that beef jerky, and we got all those gummies? Okay, you remember they were just regular gummy bears, right? Well, when I went to Beef Jerky Outlet, we all got that stuff, and my people who I brought there bought like $100 worth of beef jerky each. Typically, they've all bought a lot of stuff, and I'm like, cool, you guys are supporting my sponsor too. They love it, thank you. And like, and I gathered up like 6 people, and then I'm like, okay, let's all go over to Toys of Our Youth now. And so a bunch of us went to Toys of Our Youth, and they all spent money there. And I was offering the people who were there, you know, the workers, because I knew them, I was offering them free jerky and free gummies. Well, I get a call from my sponsor, Mark, and he's like, hey, one of the guys in there told us that you were just pushing food on them, and that you brought in canned like gummies that could, you know, you brought in like dispensary gummies, and you were pushing them on them. I'm like, no, that is absolutely not what happened. And then he's like, well, I don't trust you anymore, and I think you were trying to give people you were trying to give. Thank you, David. He's like, I don't trust you anymore, and I think you were trying to give the people in there, you know, taco we call, smokables and edibles tacos. I think you were trying to give them taco gummies. And I was like, no, like, I personally smoke and I partake, but I did not go in there with that. The stuff that I got was from Beef Jerky Outlet, and your motherfucking employees right now are trying to basically set me up and turn you against me. And it's working, obviously, because I didn't offer them shit other than what came from Beef Jerky Outlet. And he's like, well, I don't trust you anymore. And if you want to work together, we need to write a contract. And he tried to like make me write the contract. And I was like, I'm not writing your contract that you want me to, sign. And if we're doing a contract, then I want certain things too. And he's like, well, you need to write it up. I'm like, no, if you want a contract, you write it up, And right, I can't afford to give that shit away for free. Are you kidding? Like, that guy's an idiot. He didn't know shit about shit. And he's like, I don't think we should work together anymore. I'm like, I think you're right. Like, we shouldn't work together anymore. No, you're an asshole. And he was an asshole. So yeah. So that was that sponsor in a nutshell, what happened with that. And yeah, that was so stupid, man. But I got, I don't know. It was so dumb. But anyway, so let's see here. Hey, Austin, welcome in. And thank you so much for the heart me, David. I'm in the middle of talking about all the sponsors that I used to have. I used to have a ton of sponsors. And it's a lot of legwork. Because for a long time, like, I had a dog washing sponsor for a long time, and that turned out to be hell. I ended up going to New York with, like, Corinne for this sponsor, and I was going to go down there and stream, and this person turned out to be like not right in the head, and it was the most nightmarish trip to New York I've ever had. I have the worst taste in my mouth of Staten Island, and I will never go back. And luckily Corinne was there with me, because if Corinne was not there with me, it would have been my word against this person's word. And it was the most terrible experience, scary, life-threatening experience I've honestly ever had that I can't go into live, to be honest with you. The New York adventure, oh my god, dude, yeah. Phil knows about it. Phil knows all about it, because when I got back, I had to contact like 40 people and be like, hey, you're my viewer and you're an awesome viewer, but just know anything that you might hear, it's not true. But I got back from New York and I was like, it's over. I better go fucking build a resume, because this shit's over. I thought I was done. There have been so many times doing this that I thought it was over. Because I've been doing this full time for 5 years. Fuck you, Jeffrey Saunders, Light Energy. I am playing the game. I've actually already beaten the first level, but people asked me questions, so I'm answering their questions, you douchebag. Hey, Kyle Haley with the $1.99 super chat. No, actually, there's people in here who care just as much about me as they do about the game. So people are asking me questions, Jeffrey, by the way. So if you don't like it, then go watch someone else. But anyway, so yeah.
Thank you for explaining.
Yeah. No, I'm not touchy. You're just being a dick. You know what's so funny? It's so funny that someone can say whatever they want, but as soon as someone says something back, they accuse them of being touchy or salty. That's gaslighting. Jeffrey, I'm not going to accept your gaslighting bullshit. You're the one who came in here and said something, and if you don't like the reaction, then get the hell out. That's classic gaslighting. No, I'm not triggered. You're obviously triggered. You wasn't trying to. You came in here and told me to play the game when you're not even you're not even like a regular viewer. You know, you're a brand new person. You came in here and heckle. I'm happy too, actually. I've been in a great mood. But what you said was rude. Actually, you know what? I'm not even going to argue with you. You're not worth it. Goodbye.
Oh,
Jeffrey, tell me why I
ADD.
shouldn't ban you.
What did I walk in on? Oh, snap.
I didn't put others down, Jeffrey. You're the one who came in and said, play the game. No, I'm sorry. You're not going to gaslight me, Jeffrey. No, you're being rude.
Little bit of pocket money.
You. Knock knock.
No, you came in here and you said, play the game. Like, shut up and stop telling your story and play the game. No, you don't like the truth. I'm sorry, Jeffrey. Sorry. You're not going to gaslight me any further. Thank you, Joseph. Dude, no, that's not. Hey, guys, if you were streaming and you were in the middle of playing, if you were streaming and you were in the middle of telling a story and someone came in and said, play the game, would you take that rudely? Just
it was
curious.
an interesting story. That's rude.
It is rude. Because I have been playing the game. I've already beaten the first level of this incredibly tough game. No, it doesn't matter what you think at this point, Jeffrey. Here's the thing. What matters at this point is what other people think. And I'm sorry, but I was in the middle of it. Here's the thing. Is, you know, sometimes when you tell a story, it brings you back into that space. Like you get into that. Has anyone ever been telling a story and just telling the story puts them back into a state that is kind of heightened because the story that you're telling was a traumatic situation? The story that I was telling about was a traumatic situation for me. And so when you come in and you be rude, I'm sorry, you're interrupting my story, telling me to play the game, and people are engaged and listening. So it's funny how branched off you came from me just popping in. It's not funny. Actually, you know what? You can gaslight me all you want once again, but I think it was rude. Anyway. Well, I pay attention to everyone. You know what? You don't, Jeffrey, you don't have that type of power over me. You're not the one who got me upset. I was already bothered because I'm, you know, kind of like, wow, see, now you're being rude. You're telling me I'm oversensitive? No, I was in the middle of telling about a story that was traumatic, and you're coming in being rude. And now you're trying to gaslight me more like you've been doing the whole time. All right, you know what? Goodbye. You're blocked. Take care. Have a good one. Anyway, so yeah, no, Staten Island was terrible. I just had a narcissistic gaslight event from someone in a NA community. I was brought back to my childhood with what this person did to me, confronted him at the meeting. Man, good for you, Pat. All right, so anyway, this experience in New York was super traumatic, and
it was an interesting story.
Thanks, Bearded Wrestler, appreciate that. Yeah, it was really traumatic. Got him, Nick. He gone. He probably seemed like he was like a decent guy too, but just kind of like, I don't know, wrong time. Anyway, doesn't matter. Let's see here. So let's see. That New York sponsor. Yeah, I probably shouldn't have done it at the meeting though. I did it in front of everyone. Should have left it alone. Yeah, it is what it is, man. Sometimes emotions come out, you know. It's gonna happen when you're around people. That's what those places are for, though. You know, I mean, that trauma is probably what brought you to drinking, and then, you know, the drinking is why you're there now. So, poor ADD and his crazy trips. Yeah. Thank you again, Kyle Haley and Joseph Neal, for the super chats. Appreciate that, everybody. I need to manually add up that 2 from Kyle. Thank you again. Haven't seen Kyle on the dono board in a while. It's almost like he's been avoiding the show or something. No, I'm just kidding, dude. No, it's always good to see Kyle Haley, and thank you again, Phil. Give me a hashtag Kyle for the support. But anyway, let's see. So, I was almost sponsored by an arcade place. But yeah, I did a lot of legwork for sponsors in the beginning, and the sponsors that I had at first were out of state. And so after the drama with the out of state, oh, I also was sponsored by a band.
Hashtag Kyle.
Thank you, I was sponsored by a band for a while, and they were called,
Your story sounds like it should be a movie.
They were, thank you. I've thought about writing a book. But I don't know if anyone would read it. You know, you just never know. Maybe like 10 people would read it. I don't know. But the bunch of people have already know the story. And I'm afraid of how much I would leave out. But Corinne did say, she said, I'd help you write a book. So she has a memory like a steel trap, which is terrible for me sometimes. But anyway, I was, yeah, so I quit doing, the band. I was sponsored by a band, and I was playing their music at the beginning of every stream and the end of every stream. And after a while, I was like, well, I'm doing all this shouting out for this band, but are they ever like, they've never once like sent me any swag to send out to people. So I had to reach them and contact them and ask them, and they finally did send me some things. They sent me like some pogs to send out to people and like some t-shirts. But so they were called Sonic Boom, and they're an awesome band. You should look them up. I mean, honestly, they have really neat covers, but at the same time, they're not my sponsor anymore. But I'm not like not friends with the guy. I want to put that out there. Like, there's only one sponsor that I'm totally cut ties with. Two sponsors I'm totally cut ties with, but another one though, they never. I think I should have been like shouted out at their concerts, you know, like, and hey. There's a, you know, like they should have been like, hey, make sure and check out, you know, old guy ADD's on Facebook Gaming, and he plays our music at the beginning of every stream and the end of every stream. You can check out our music videos there or on YouTube. You know, they should have done something like that. They should have given me a shout out once a show, you know.
This could be a tell-all book.
You know, it should have. So, oh, I love this. Yeah, Foster the People. I know that song. But anyway. Don't they sing that song? You're yes, then you know. No, that's not them. That's not them. They sing, all the other kids in the pumped up kicks better run, faster than my. That song's actually got a really, you know, terrible story. But anyway, let's see here. So yeah, I decided never to do. The band, the band and the game store, Everyone's Entertainment, that was all before Beef Jerky Outlet. Beef Jerky Outlet was like an actual business, and I was like, I challenged myself to see, like, could I get an actual like legitimate franchise to sponsor my business and my stream. And so I called Beef Jerky Outlet and like literally cold called the store and asked him, is a manager there? And I'd like to speak to a manager. And I said, hey, I have a really good idea. I'd like to tell people about your jerky in my stream. You know, gamers love snack food. And I had to wait like a week for a call back from a manager, and she was like, well, I don't like the sound of this. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, how about you just watch my stream just one time? Just check it out one time. And she did check it out, and she's like, that was actually really fun. I can see why people like it. Okay, you know what? We'll do a trial run. We'll do a month. And we did a month, and I think people bought like $500 or $600 worth of jerky that first month. And then my biggest month was like there was like $4,000 in stars that came in, and there was like $3,000 of jerky that was sold. And they're like, how did you sell $3,000 worth of jerky in streaming? I'm like, I didn't, you know, that's the thing, is I just ate it and told people how delicious it was, and people were buying it, you know. And so, like, that's when they decided to give me the $300 a month allowance to, and then 5% or whatever. But anyway, and I didn't really have much of a say in what I got. You know, it was either, you know, it was, you know, all on, you know.
That's
so,
awesome.
Yeah, so it was just a cold call to a business, and it was a lot of work, though. It was more work than I care to do in a sponsor type situation, again, honestly. Because then I realize how much time and effort. What's up, John? Who knows? Like, you know, this is a very, like it's very, streaming full time is the getting behind the camera part and playing video games. That's easy. Anybody can do that. But making enough to continue to do this, that's the hard part. You know, like making this work, drawing in the people, you know. So I just decided that I need a sponsor that's like very low maintenance. And yeah, the honey jalapeno jerky was good. Joseph Neal, thank you so much again. Kyle Haley, thank you so much again. So yeah, I have a sponsor right now, and they're Gould Gaming, and they're awesome. And they have really awesome shirts. But yeah, for a while, I was like loaded up on sponsors. I have a theory that that's part of what happened to my old page, is like I was sponsored by Beef Jerky Outlet, but like, I don't think the main owner of the franchise knew that like they were sponsoring me. Like, they just decided independently as a franchise to do that. So I think that like that might have been what, you know, was part of the problem. Like, I had logos for companies. I had like logos for, you know, for Beef Jerky Outlet and a bunch of like, you know, legit companies in my stream. So that could have been an issue as to what happened with my last page too. You know, I don't know. I'm not sure. So I had a page for like 4 years, and I was almost partner on that page. So I think if I wouldn't have worried about sponsors, and I would have just focused on the stream and not played any music in my stream and not put any logos in there and kept everything really simple, which is why I learned a lot though. Sounds like that boss you just fought reminded. Oh yeah, kind of. I know. I thought, but you know what? I can't beat the 3rd level anyway, so it doesn't matter. That 3rd level is really tough.
You're still a badass streaming page.
I appreciate that. I thank you. I just my income is a little lower right now than it typically is, but I think that there's a lot of factors that go into that. There was a lot of issues with Facebook for a while with stars and stuff like that, and stars are like a big portion of my income, and I think a lot of people got frustrated, and a lot of people are having financial issues right now. So so stars are much slower this month than they usually are. But I think what's making up for that is the super chats, which I appreciate. Thank you so much, everybody. ADD, you wouldn't have the support you have for years if you weren't bringing quality. I appreciate that, John. Thank you. It has been a long time, man. It's been. I'm almost going on. You know, I mean, I'm 5.5 years into full-time streaming, essentially, because I started full-time streaming in January, so January of 2020. Thank you, Kyle. January of 2020 is when I went full-time, so thanks, John. I do see a lot of people coming back. There's a lot of people. That star overview this week is already lit up, which I'm super thankful for. There's been $500 in stars that's been sent in the last 7 days, so that's getting more back to normal, which I'm really thankful for. And so that's, and then to help average that out to about 100 a day average is what I shoot for. That's my goal. And it typically, you know, it's been averaging out with TikTok and Facebook, so that's what I need to shoot for to be able to do this full time. John, who knows, I'll always treat you the same whether you can or not. I appreciate that so much. I know you want to, and I appreciate it, man. And you know what, even like if you can't throw stars or you can't do diamonds or bits or super chats, comment, like, share, bring some good energy into the stream. You know, we have people who've been watching for years who've never sent a star, who I treat just the same as someone who's lit up the stars and been first place every month. You know, you can't, you know, I think, you know, there's nothing wrong with doing what you love for a living. There is something wrong with it, though, when you know, like, when you treat people badly who aren't, you know, supporting what you're doing. Like, whether people support you or not financially, you need to still treat them with dignity and respect, and you know, treat them the same as anybody who, you know, that's when it becomes, you know, when you can tell someone is all about the money, is when they treat people who don't send them money like crap. Like, there's streamers on oh my god, it's so great to watch sometimes. Like, I'll watch some really bad videos on YouTube sometimes, like about like streamers, like entitled streamers, to kind of humble myself. You know, when I start getting down and I start thinking, man, there's not enough coming in, well, you know, then I watch those and I'm like, well, maybe I could do more. Maybe I could put out more streams. So it always has to fall back on me. It's never, you know, if I'm not making enough stars, or I'm not making enough diamonds or super chats or bits, and thank you for that, by the way. It's my fault. It's never,
for you,
thank you so much, Eric Butler. Appreciate it. You know, it's never the viewer's fault, man. The viewers are to be appreciated, respected, and freaking, man, just like, if you know, your time that you give a streamer is not a guaranteed thing. Thank you so much for that, Eric Butler. You know, it's a gift. The time you give to a streamer to watch is honestly a gift, man. There's a bunch of ways you can get it by watching, so thank you. That is a gift in itself, it really is. But the fact that I'm able to do this and talk to you guys every day, and do it every day because you guys allow me to make a living doing this, that's incredible. If I were you, I'd be worried into a coma, speaking of respect. You know? I mean, you know, I am used to not having a wage. You know, I'm used to not knowing what I'm gonna make ever, because from 2002 until 2008 I served tables. You know, when you're serving tables, you're making $2.13 an hour, and you don't know what you're gonna walk out with ever. But I always made like $500 a week, and I just relied on my personality and trying to do my best at my job. And you know, I mean, that was my first job where I didn't really have a wage, and it was all about what I put out into it, you know. And then in 2008, I started selling car warranties. Well, little did I know how bad that industry was with the, you know, You know, I just didn't know, but at the same time, like, it was honestly the best thing it was like, it was better than college, you know, for sales, because, like, you literally are just, you know, um, you know, imagine trying to get someone to agree to spend $3,000 over the phone in 15 minutes without really 100% knowing what they're getting. You know, you have to explain to them that, hey, you know, your car is going to break down one day, and we want to be there when it does to fix it. And they're like, my car's not going to break down. I'm like, and our response would be, well, you're right, you know, but, you know, the parts department at Toyota begs to differ. You know, they have spare parts for everything in your car, and it could break everything. You know, so like basically I was trained for years how to argue. You know, trained for years how to argue, trained for years how to, you know, like how to sell, basically, you know. And it was better training than you could get, you know. But then, you know, I didn't do as well as others because I wouldn't lie to people. If they asked me a question, I would give them the honest answer, you know. And there were people who would just straight up say yes and lie. You know, I may not have had as high a sales as them, but I had way less people canceling. So in an industry that was built on basically deceit, which is insurance, it's hard to be the honest one, because when you're not the honest one in an insurance type, when you're not honest, you will go further, unfortunately, in, you know, in car warranties, selling them, because, you know, like, I mean, there were people in like 2008 who were like telling people their oil changes and shit were covered just to get a freaking sale. And then as soon as the customer went to get an oil change and they, you know, realized that this isn't going to cover my oil changes or my maintenance, you know, then they would cancel. And then there eventually had to be like strict guidelines on like what we could say and what we couldn't say. And we all had to be licensed, and that was by like 2013. So those days before having to be licensed, we called the Wild West, because basically, like, you know, and even before that, there was an even more Wild West where phone calls weren't even like recorded. But when I first started doing it, every phone call was recorded. And one thing I had to learn how to do was I had to go into offices with managers and like listen to my phone calls. And I hated doing that at first. I like took it as a punishment. Like, I thought it was a punishment, you know. And after a while, I realized, you know, as much as this sucks, it isn't a punishment. It's good to listen to yourself and realize, hey, I sounded like shit there. I need to try to sound better. But and the thing is, out of all those industries, out of all those car warranty businesses, there are some legitimate ones who actually do deal with like the same policies like the dealerships deal with. Like, if you go to a dealership, oftentimes you'll hear of companies like called like American Auto Shield or Endurance. I don't even know if American Auto Shield's around anymore, but anyway, so yeah. So there, I always tried to work for ones that were like as legitimate as possible after I started learning more about it. And it teaches you a lot, though. But again, going back to that, you didn't have a wage, you know. So even though like I don't have a wage doing this, and I may not make what I want every day, I love what I'm doing. I love doing this. I don't have to pressure people to support. You know, when people do support, it's a fun thing. You know, it's fun. It's not pressure. People, they're you know, if there are people who are supporting because they feel like they have to, then don't. You know, like, don't do it. You know, do it because you want to. You know, do it because you get excited to do it. Do it because you want to, you know, make sure that I can put a diaper on my kiddo. You know, do it because it gives you a awesome feeling. You know, I don't have to pressure anyone to do this, and that's one thing I had to do for so long. was argue with people until I was blue in the face to get them to buy something that they ultimately didn't want. And I went to therapy over doing this job. I almost unalived myself over doing this job. And since I'm telling all these stories today, I might as well go a little further. I worked in the warranty industry from 2008 to 2020. And in between that, I stopped a couple times to like work maintenance for like a year, and that was a good experience. I'm really glad I worked maintenance. That's a whole nother can of worms of a story I'll get into sometime. But I worked maintenance for a while, and I also quit for a little while to work at a collection agency, because I was like, well, I can sell these warranties, I can do collection calls. No, that shit's awful. That's the worst job I've ever had, and I will never do collections again. I would rather shovel shit than do collections again. I'm not even kidding you. Literally, I would rather shovel manure. So I was in a terrible relationship with a person who was an alcoholic. Luckily, we didn't have any kids together. We didn't have a house together. We didn't have anything together. So the split was easy, but we did end up getting married. We had just gotten married, and I was making okay. You know, I was making like 50 grand a year at my job or so. And I told my lady at the time, I'm like, I want to stop selling these car warranties, and I want to go full-time streaming. And her first words to me when I said that, and I was in a dark place, like I told her, like, if I keep doing this, I'm going to unalive. I'm not going to be here. If I can't take Gertrude's money anymore, you know, because old people, unfortunately, as terrible as it is, they were the easiest to sell. You know, I don't know how many times I had a granddaughter or a grandson calling back saying, what the hell did you sell my grandma? You know, and that's everyone in the industry, unfortunately. Like, it is just, it just is what it is, man. You know, and I felt soulless for that. I felt soulless. I hated it. I hated doing it. I didn't like doing it. I can't believe I'm already back here at this boss. I just died here. Anyway, so I hated it. I hated doing it. I felt soulless. I wanted to quit. I wanted more than anything just to get out of that industry and not sell warranties anymore, because that was I have no college degree, and I grew up in a time where, like, if you didn't have a college degree, you weren't getting a job. You were getting passed up by everybody. And in 2008, if anybody was in the job markets in 2008, like, you either had to have a trade or a college degree to get a decent job, to get anything above serving tables. You know, it's just how it was. And nowadays we realize college is mostly a scam, you know, unless you're going to be a doctor or a lawyer or something like that. But anyway, so yeah, so the thing I could do where I could actually make money was selling car warranties. Well, you know, like, time had gone by. I was doing this what do you mean you still kind of do? I don't understand. Elaborate for me. Time was still going by, and so I was like, I was leading up to this point. I was telling her, you know, I hate what I'm doing. I hate what I'm doing so much that if I keep doing this, I'm going to unalive. I'm not going to be here anymore. And this was around 2019, and my dog just died. Like, my dog just died. My amazing, beautiful dog, Icy. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. You kind of still do. That's true. Or you just need to be really good at. You have to have a skill. You're right. You're right, Kyle. But nowadays, companies are hiring less and less with college degrees. They are, honestly. But anyway, let me continue before sorry, you didn't interrupt. You had a great comment, Kyle, by the way. I want to put that out there. So, leading up to this point, I was talking to my lady, I was telling her I hate what I do. If I don't quit, I'm gonna unalive. And the first thing she says to me when I tell her this string of words, she said, "Are you ready for this? Are you guys sitting down?" She said, "There goes our chances of getting a house." I told her I want to quit this job. I'm gonna unalive if I don't. I need to go. I need to do something. I know I can full-time stream. I know I can do this. I believe in it. I know I can do this. And she said, "Well, there goes our chances of getting a house." And I said, "That's all you care about with like everything that I just told you? I just laid my heart out to you. I just poured my heart out to you and told you that if I don't quit doing this job, I'm going to not be here anymore." And we got into a big fight, and I'm like, "All you care about is a house. All you care about. You don't care about me. You could have a house with anybody, but you don't care about me. Like, if you cared about me, you would live in a cardboard box with me, you know?" And so she knew how you were feeling, and yeah, right, exactly. And so my dog had just died. My job didn't let me off, you know, because I asked for a day off. I'm like, I need a day off. Like, my dog was my kid, you know, I need a day off. And they wouldn't let me have the day off. They said a dog isn't important enough to take a day off. And I didn't take off, and I had the worst day. I couldn't take the customers. I couldn't take the day off the list. Oh my god, yeah. Thank you, Eric. So I ended up like, I was walking around work, and like after that conversation, and I said something to my boss, like I said something to my boss, like, he's like, "Are you having a good day?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm having a good day. You know, I got a rope at home." And he was like, "Don't ever say anything like that again." I'm like, "You guys didn't let me off for my dog dying, and I'm like literally having the worst anxiety right now, and I can't take the customers right now, and I'm my girlfriend, you know, my girlfriend cares more about the house than she does me doing this." Like so I hated doing this, even in the early days, like selling car warranties. And I was doing it from like 2008 to like 2009, and I hated it so much, but I was making good money. I was making like $4,000 a month or whatever doing it, $3,000 a month, and like my biggest check was like $4,700 for the month. That's a lot of money. That was a lot of money in 2009, you know, or 2008, 2009, you know, to make it a month. And so I made a lot of money doing it, but I hated doing it so much. And so I hated doing it so much that I quit that job and went and worked for AAA for $9 an hour. By the time I was done working for AAA 3 years later, I was making 11. And I was like, man, I just can't do this anymore. Like, I have to suck it up and do this warranty thing. And that was after a year of maintenance too. So I did 3 years for AAA, a year of maintenance, and then 4 years later, I was like, I need money. I guess I need to go back where I know where I can make money. So from 2013 to 2020, I went and sold warranties. And 7 years later, after selling warranties for 7 more years, I was like, you know, I was ready to no longer, you know, ready to be part of the ground, you know. So yeah, like, I knew I hated it already, but it was the only way that I could make a viable income to be able to do anything. So I just had to, like, I just basically shoved down everything into a deep, dark pit, which is what we're taught to do as men from the start of our lives anyway. You know, boys don't cry, boys don't show emotions, we just take care of shit, you know. But Phil knows. If you're a guy born in the 80s, you know, guys aren't, we're little bitches if we show emotion. You know, you don't show emotion, you don't talk about your emotions with your friends, you know, so, like, but that's why, you know, but thank God I went to 3 months of therapy. I got diagnosed with extreme anxiety, duh. I got diagnosed with extreme anxiety, depression, duh. And then also autism. So I found out at the time that I was autistic, which is why everything feels so heightened, and I felt like the odd man out, and I'm so fucking clumsy, and my handwriting is terrible, and I feel awkward in social situations, and I have to have a blanket person when I, you know, go out places, and I know, so I found out in 2019 that I'm high functioning autistic, and so by doctors at SSM Healthcare, which is the doctor branch around here or whatever. So I just totally nailed that Contra run, by the way. That was awesome. So yeah. I quit. Like, me starting full-time streaming was not like a happy thing. Me starting full-time streaming was like, I'm gonna do this or I'm gonna not be here. Like, I'm going to do this. So I had to hold a middle finger up to the world. I had to tell my job, I'm like, I'm not coming back. After my 2-week FMLA leave, I'm like, I'm not coming back. I'm not doing it again. I can't. I'm gonna, even if I'm shit. And yeah, thank you. No Death Run number 303. Streaming, like, has literally, like, saved my life. If I wouldn't have started streaming, I wouldn't have met Corinne. And we have a house. It's a beautiful house. It's with it's 3 bedrooms upstairs, 2 bedrooms downstairs, 3 full bathrooms. It's 1,500 square feet up top, but the basement's finished, so it's like having a 3,000 square foot house or whatever. And then we have a pool outside, and we've had 3 children in the last few years. Like, my life has gotten infinitely better, like, since I've started streaming. So yeah. I could see where you would have wanted to escape. Thankfully, you reached out for help. Yeah. So all those sponsors and everything, I probably could write a short story, like a short book on it, like, here's what you're going to go through if you start streaming, possibly, Let's do a little round of Super C really quick. So yeah. That's why out of everything that I've ever went through to doing this, I've never taken a break. Kyle said I'd read it. I've never been like, well, guys, I'm gonna put up the microphone for 2 weeks and I'll be back or whatever. I've never stopped. The most I've ever stopped streaming in the 5 years has been to go on a honeymoon, which was fun, actually, but like, yeah. So anyway, that is where I'm at now. Wow, everything that I did leads me up to here. So thank you again, anybody who does support the stream with super chats or stars, because not only are you just supporting the show, you're supporting what was once seemed like a pipe dream. I would sit there at my desk. I would sit there at my gaming desk in the morning, and I would just wish. I would like wake up, and I would just wish I do this, like full time. Thank you so much, Alvin, for the support. Like, dudes, what's up, Jay? Jay's been supporting for a long time, man. I'm talking like, gosh, Schlag Dog, Brian Har, welcome in. Thanks for joining. I'm going to tell you guys real quick. The stream is usually super upbeat, but today I got into some storytelling. So the stream is usually super upbeat, talking about 80s and 90s, this and that. But today has just been a kind of a retelling of the story of me, I guess. I asked to be tested for autism, and I was told my insurance doesn't cover it. Well, I don't know what to tell you. I'm a bit of a TBF, to be honest. Not a, let's see. All right, here we go. Thank you so much, Alvin. JH Dude. Holy hell, Jay with the 1,200 stars. Just stopping by to drop this by. Dude, thank you so much, Jay. Dude, look at that overview this week, man. You guys are killing it this week. Thank you so much. And it's only Wednesday. We've already had someone reach 10,000 stars this week, which is nuts. Thank you so much, Jay. I got you, bro. I know what you want. Little Godzilla and Nemesis with the side of twerking. Oh, I just missed the spread. It's okay though. Let's see if I can beat this without the spread. Thank you so much, Jay. That's so awesome of you, dude. Jay's been around for a long time. Jay's seen almost all the shit that I was talking about go down. Like, been watching for years. Ray, what's going on, man? Sometimes it just feels good to talk about it a little bit, man. So thanks everybody who did listen, because I think I needed to just vent for a little bit. I think I just needed to talk and get some emotions out, dude. So thanks for those who listened without judgment and have been here for a long time and know. And there we go. Thank you so much, Jay. All is well. I'm a bit odd, to be fair, and not overthinking for a change. Hey, good for you. You know, like that's one thing that if I would have... Is this Contra? This is Super C, Jeremy. Welcome in. Man, thank you so much again, Jay. I overthink like crazy, but one thing that I was 100% sure about that I didn't overthink was doing this. Damn. That's the second spread I've missed. Man, thank you so much again, Jay.
Stop it! Do you hear me? Stop it!
How is Jay today? Oh, someone said they put Killer Instinct Gold on 64. Is that true? Humbled even. I appreciate that, man. Thank you. I've been through a lot in these last 7 years. That's not including having a page totally taken away from me for no reason and having to start over after 4 years. Like I was full-time for 2 years. Cortina had moved here. It was October of 2021, and suddenly like my page all of a sudden got its ability to earn taken away. And like I didn't know why, and suddenly like I had to live off PayPal for 4 months, and then I had to create this page, and so this page is a product of me like getting my other page totally ripped away from me for no reason. I mean, can you imagine that? I had Cortina who was pregnant. I had Cortina who was pregnant. I had, you know, she had just moved here. I was making, you know, good, and we were confident about things, and then like all of a sudden, you know, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much again, Jay. That's so awesome of you, dude. Someone's Majin Buu. Ryan, I'm not really remembering you too much, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Welcome in, everybody. Thanks for joining. Hope you're all doing well. You know, the story of me streaming is good to tell too. Like, it may give people some insight on, you know, that it's not all. It's definitely not as easy. It's not easy like people think it is. There's a lot that goes into streaming. The time that it takes too. Which I love putting the time in, but it's gotten harder to find the time with the kiddos. Thank you so much again, Jay. Sean, welcome in, dude. I've only beaten this game one time without dying, but I think I'm going to start doing these again. Did no death runs on Super C. I'm going to start trying. I think I have one on the book, and we're still going to count that. It's not like it starts over. I've still beaten this game one time without dying. I just took a 2-year, 3-year break. Okay, after this level, I'm going to go make a double check on the house. Just a sweep. I'm pretty sure there is no time limit. I'm gonna wager that if I just stand here, nothing will come at me. How much do you guys bet? Nothing will come out. There's no time limit. Enjoy the music. I'll be back in like 3 minutes, if that. Marion, you are not wrong. Welcome in. How are you? All right, I was right. Oh my God, Ryan. That's funny. I mean, I don't blame you, though. You're not alone. What? No! Did you see that? That was weird. You usually are right. I appreciate that, Scott. We're gonna play Battletoads. So Super C was just a bonus to see how far I could get with 1 life. Lucas is asleep. He laid himself down for a nap. I did not see that. I felt it. Thank you so much again, Jay. Thank you so much, Alvin. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, thank you. We're halfway to our goal of 50 reacts on the book. If you have not hit that react button, please do. Welcome in. Hey, Joshua Newsom, welcome, dude. Thanks for having that star badge. Thanks for having that supporter badge. Chris Frederick is in here with his green name, and Kyle Haley with his green name. Thinking of playing some X-Men today. How are you? I'm doing good, man. Thanks for asking, Chris. Which X-Men are you thinking about playing? All right. The arcade game, the Sega game, the Super Nintendo games. Ooh, Sega 1 and 2, those are really good. Those are the fun ones. I love them all though, but those are good ones. I am super nostalgic for basically every X-Men game except for like the Nintendo version. Oh man. Okay. We're gonna reset this real quick here. Mulligan. So we have this gigantic Tetris that we got from Costco a while back, and our kids just love this thing, man. It's giant, like basically the pieces are 4 inches by 4 inches, and they're basically 4-inch squares every segment. And so like imagine the long block is like 16 inches long. Like the long blocks are big, they're like 16 inches, and then like the L block is like, you know, 8 inches by or like it's like one 4-inch by 4-inch block, and then another one, and then 2 more. So like that's like, you know, that's like almost a foot long, or maybe they're 3 inches by 3 inches or something like that, but they're at least 3-inch cubes. And they make the pieces, of course, in segments. So like every 3-inch cube is a single nub, basically, and so it takes 4 3-inch cubes to make a long block, and you know, 4 3-inch cubes to make an L block, and you know, 4 3-inch cubes in a square to make the square block. But yeah, it's so cool. They're gigantic Tetris pieces, and it comes with, I forget how many pieces it comes with. It comes with like 4 of each piece. Like it has 4 L blocks, 4 square blocks, 4 of the like S looking blocks, 4 of the almost like the 3 across with the 1 in the middle. So how many different variations of blocks are there? It comes with however many different variations of blocks there are, plus times 4. Man, that was horse shit. Dude, what the fuck? That never happens. That's bullshit. I'm sorry. This is horseshit. But yeah, they're really cool. So it's like a giant Tetris tilt and tumble thing. And eventually when you get good enough, like, you realize how you would have to build it for it not to fall, but just look it up. Giant Tetris tumble. If you want to see what it is. It came in a box taller than my kiddos. Alright, one more try, y'all. If I fuck up this time, I'm just gonna move forward. You know what's been doing really well at night is Oblivion. Like, that game does really well at night, but no other time. It does not do well in the morning. I think at night people are ready for like a chill, atmospheric, you know, game, or like a story type of, I don't know. Here we go. Let's try this one more time. Okay, here we go. Come on. There we go. Okay, see? What the fuck, man? You know a game I loved? Guild Wars. Did anyone ever play Guild Wars? Yes, Oblivion's awesome. I haven't even opened Twitch yet. There's been a few comments over there. Kid Jackson over there. You think if I wrote a book it'd be a bestseller? You're nice, Kid Jackson. I wish I would have seen that comment when you said it. I should open up the Twitch comments. You'd probably put the Twitch comments just really little over here. Let's see. There we go. That's kind of perfect. Excellent. I'll have to message Kid Jackson, and if he's not in here, and tell him I saw your comment and I thought it was awesome. What system was Guild Wars for? Guild Wars was, hey Jody. Guild Wars was for PC. It was like, basically, it was like, hey guys, this is free World of Warcraft, essentially. That's what they marketed it as. Damn you. Usually really good at these first couple levels, but that's okay. Oh shit. Come on now. Oh man, it just disappeared because it went up there too high. God damn it. I'm late to the party. Hey, that's okay. Fashionably late. Oh, there we go. Cool. At least I got a life pack. Yep, Guild Wars was for PC. It was a great game. I really enjoyed it. It was very simple, though. Oh, shit. Here we go. Oh, come on. Stupid game. You make me look bad. Here we go. Thanks for joining. Welcome in. Hello, hello. Boom. This is Battletoads for those who aren't sure. Battletoads. What's up, New City? You bastards. Jet. So you know who has good pickles? Ace Hardware. You want a random ass thought? Well, there you go. That was so close.
The creativity back in the day, unmatched.
Oh, it was. Because half of it was graphics and half of it was imagination. Here we go. What if I did one long stream and every night Cortina and I did a co-op? You know, or maybe at night she would take over the stream. But if I tried to do like a really long afternoon stream and then had her and I do a co-op stream and then, I don't know, like, that's an idea too. I'm just trying to think about Cortina and how she wants to stream, but she, you know, shit, she works so much. I have to thank you, ADD. I have not one, but two random songs stuck in my head today at work. The I Ain't No Bitch and the Salute Your Short stream. You're welcome. You want another one? It's like if you sing a song halfway, it gets in your head even more. Do 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 Nothing matters but fun. Fresh goes better with life. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you. Staying fresh, staying cool. With Mentos fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better, Mentos freshness. Fresh goes better with Mentos fresh and full of life. There you go. That's another one for your head. That'll live rent-free. Mentos, the fresh maker. What's up, Septic? And they always did the Terrible, terrible smiles. The never-ending story. That's a good. Just that one line. The other day I had.
Thank you, it's in there, living rent-free.
Right.
Lol.
The other day I was like, I kept going, the never-ending. No, I was like, do 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 do. Do. I just had that part in my head the other day for a while. No Worries, New City. Just real quick, things are awfully quiet. I'm just gonna go check on the one. Okay. I just... Oh, yeah. Go, Gadget, go! Do-do, do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do-do. Go, Gadget, go! You've never made it past the turbo tunnel? You know, you're not alone. I have made it past, but you're not alone in that. There's lots of people who haven't, so don't you worry. So I have an idea that I want to do tonight. So last night I made the pot pie. I made chicken pot pie last night. And I've already told this story. But for those who didn't hear the story, last night I made chicken pot pie. And I thought I was making this thing so good. I put my croissants down on the bottom. I got out my cream of chicken, my cream of mushroom, my whole milk. I mixed together the carrots, the green, the peas, the carrots, the peas, and the corn, and the milk, and the cream of mushroom soup, and the whole milk or whatever. And I put everything in the oven, and I started eating it. I'm like, man, this is really good, but it's missing something. And you guys guess what I forgot to put in there? In my chicken pot pie? The chicken. I forgot the fucking chicken. In my chicken pot. I made a vegan's pot pie last night, which we still ate it. It was still really good. Hey, I've done something like that with a dose before. Yeah, chicken. Tommy. So we all still enjoyed it, but it was just, you know, laughed about it, and then we ate. We all had a bunch. It was still good. It still tasted like pot pie, but it gave me an idea last night. And my idea, yeah, it was a vegetarian pot pie, right? It was still really good. My idea is to take whole pie filling and put it in croissants. Wrap them up into like, basically make my own apple pastries with croissants. So I'm going to do that today. And I'm also going to make... No! I'm also going to make pizza pastries. You can make pizza pastries just by taking croissants, marinara sauce or pizza sauce, cheese, you know, and wrapping them up and putting them in the oven and make your own fucking pizza pockets as big or as little as you want to, you know? I like to do things like that for the kids, though. You know what's funny is I've been trying to... So I've been losing my patience, like, lately with... You know, I haven't been, like, losing my patience, but I get frustrated sometimes, you know, with the kiddos, because there's so many of them, you know? But lately I've been trying to think of it like treat them like as if they're my customers. Like, just be at their service. And it's been actually, like, the last week of trying that has changed my mindset a little bit. So I'm just treating them like, you know, like, of course I, you know, still treat them like my kids, but I'm trying to look at them like that. Like, if they were my customers, how would I treat them? You know, because, you know, it's easy to get frustrated with your family. It's easy to get frustrated with your kids, but it's not their fault. You know, they don't know any better. They don't know why I'm having a bad day. They're just innocent, sweet, smiley-faced kiddos. So, but even at my worst moments when I'm flustered, instead of just being like, you know, gosh darn it, just leave me alone for a minute, you know? Like, I just, you know, we all get that way as parents probably. But I've been trying to look at it like almost, even if I'm in a bad mood for a customer, you know, you leave it at the door. So like with the kiddos, I just got to start trying harder to leave it at the door, basically. Whatever my frustrations are. Almost, yeah, kind of, you know. Almost, but without expecting anything in return except for a hug or the fact that they're, you know, they're happy. You know, transactional in that matter, you know, to where all I'm wanting is, you know, for them to maybe do their chores or smile, you know. Good afternoon, I hope everyone's doing well. I find it funny how when you mention Battletoads to people, they mention the Turbo Tunnel like it's the evilest thing in the world. It is one of them. Welcome in, JK. Guys, have you met my buddy JK's One-Eyed Gaming? If not, he's a fun streamer. You should definitely check him out. Okay. Let's pay attention. You're welcome, JK. I'm not just saying it for fun, man. I wouldn't have sent you, you know, I'm not looking for a pat on the back or anything, but if I didn't like you, I definitely, you know, or think of you as a good friend, I wouldn't have sent you that camera, you know? I wanted to see you. God damn it. was wondering what the fuck is that noise? But it's my kid, like randomly ass pressing buttons on a thing. All of a sudden it was like drop to the B, drop to the B, drop to the drop to the drop to the. I was like, where does that come from? So many things around here now that make noises. Oh my god. I'm not just talking about my kids, I'm talking about their toys. What's the racing game with Captain Falcon in it again? Oh, F-Zero. F-Zero 99 is free on the Switch. And you can also play F-Zero on the Super Nintendo. Yeah, the one on Super Nintendo, yeah. Are you talking about on Battle Maniacs, Viper, or are you talking about the one on Battletoads and Double Dragon? Because that one's easier too.
Yes, Battle Maniacs.
Also on the Super Nintendo Online, you can play F-Zero, the original F-Zero. Good, I'm glad the camera comes in handy, man. Okay, so the part where you have to keep jumping those platforms, do you want a tip or are you good? Yeah, of course, I'll take a tip for sure. Just the tip though. What's the game with the two jumping fighters with... Oh, that's Contra. Welcome in, Phantom. Do you guys hear that out there? Can you guys hear that? What sounds like a toy? That's my son. Just like he just likes to mash buttons on his toys. It's so funny sometimes. He sounds like he's playing DJ. I know what you meant, Kyle. Thank you again, Jay, for the 1,200 stars. Thank you again, Alvin and Phil, for the stars. Appreciate that. Your stars literally keep the stream going. Thank you for the diamonds and the super chats, you guys. Kyle Haley and Joseph Neal. Appreciate that so much. Without the support, the show literally cannot happen every day. So I'm able to do this full time every day because of you guys. Because of people who support the channel. That overview, fuck that overview right now.
Oh, you're gonna get him that hot tour and spit on that thing. You get me?
Thank you so much, David Dolgus. You rock,
so
man.
Funny.
David Dolgus is a huge supporter of the show. Appreciate it. Put that cookie down now. Okay, so the way I've gotten past that part is every jump I move forward, then move back. Yeah, I'm doing that. Yep, you kind of like, yeah, I know what you mean. Doing that too. But I'll try, I'll give that a better whirl this time. Let's see here. Says good game. Oh man. Jay, I think I just needed a little bit of reminder, so thank you. Hold on just a second. Bastard. You bastard. One way to do it. Oh my god. Oh my god. I said it once and I'll say it again. They sure don't make games like they used to. I think about what developers had to work with. No, I feel like their angle was more geared towards gameplay than fun. Oh, for sure. I mean, they didn't have, you know, crazy graphics. But, you know, I mean, what they made these older systems do was incredible. That's why we play retro. Yep. And even with Oblivion, man, like... Do I get to continue? Nope, I don't. I tried my best, though. I really did put everything I had into that playthrough. Except for, like, the times when I was distracted talking. Alright, it's time for a little change of pace with Tetris. And then I'm going to beat Marble Madness. And then what we'll do is we will open up the floor for donation requests. I would say anything over $2 and I'll do a request, whether it's 200 diamonds or $2 in super chats or 200 stars or... Let's see here. So if there's something you guys want to see, like Batman or Rambo or Castlevania, if you do like 1,000 stars, I'll play like 20 to 30 minutes of the game. I'll do a 20 to 30 minutes could be a full playthrough of Castlevania. There's Turtles Tournament Fighters. There's Solomon's Key and Panic Restaurant and Simon's Quest, which I'm not good at, but I would totally play. And there's Zelda. I would totally do the first dungeon of Zelda. There's Zelda 2. I could do the first dungeon of Zelda 2. And let's see here. I need to play Zelda in the morning soon. There's Metroid. I could go up to getting like just the the first set of bombs in Metroid or something like that. There's there's Bionic Commando and Ninja Gaiden and Batman Returns, which is a beat 'em up, and Toxic Avenger, and let's see here. There's so many Nintendo games. So there's Defender 2. So if there's something you guys want to request after Marble Madness, and if you've already done 2 or more, you get a request. So like Jay, let's see here. Eric Butler's almost there on TikTok. So if Eric Butler wanted a request, he's really close. Now I just made a big mess. Let's see if I can clear this up. Hey, Ivana, welcome in. Ivana, thank you for showing up. Tomorrow is my youngest 8th grade end of year celebration at his school. My mom flies in Friday until Monday. Have a crap load of stuff planned. The boys and I haven't seen her since 2019. Man, well, I bet it's going to be a fun reunion considering you have bettered yourself so much, man. I'm proud of you, buddy. I think it'll be a good time. We'll have a lot to talk about. Dude, you're all good. Do what you gotta do. Take your time. If you come in the streams, no worries, man. But heck, if you want to be shouted out while you have company, that's cool too. I'll do that for you. F-Zero's tough, right? I appreciate them trying and exploring and expanding, but we always have those we come back to, for sure. That's for sure. Yep, I do always have the games that I come back to. That's a fact. She will be interested. I'm the baby of the family. Always a good perk to have. I am the baby of the family too. Yep, little mistakes can cost you the whole race, you're right. Bumping into the wall or missing the power-up. I used to play this at a local laundromat along with Ghosts and Goblins. Spent quite a bit of money in quarters. Did they have a Play Choice 10? Hey, I think Off-Road would be fun later. Dude, after Marble Madness.
Me to add.
Yeah, I will definitely. Let's give me the rest of this Tetris run, and then Marble Madness, and then I will totally play Off-Road. Yeah, is that Al Unser's Off-Road? Is that what it is? Kyle Haley has a request. Kyle Haley sent $2 super chats earlier in the stream. Joseph Neal has a request if he wants it technically. So Kyle Haley, you have a request too. We will honor any backdated support from the stream. We're you know, so that way you already did it, so it's there. So if you want to request a Nintendo game, hell yeah. There was a game that Jody Spencer wanted me to play, and then there was also a game that Glenn wanted me to play, which was called like Hagen or something like that. I don't know if Glenn is in here, but I think I'm going to try to remember to play that today if I do a second stream of the day. Yeah, dude. Think of one. Don't worry about the viewership, though, either. Just think of a game that you like. Something that you've been wanting to ask and request, like, you know, just... The only thing I ask is just, you know, if you request like a Final Fantasy, you're not going to see very much of it. Oh, it's super off-road. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you have to clarify, because typically that super is Super Nintendo. Oh, that's crazy. Some new AI videos? That's crazy. Yeah, those can be... There was a... There's a story online where it's like a made-up story, I'm pretty sure. But it's like a theoretical thing. Ah, Ivan Stewart, that's right. I have that. I have a cartridge of that. There's a story of a guy who tells, like, if AI took over, how they would do it. And one way that this AI, like, I am pretty sure this is a made-up story by AI, though, I think, is they would take over like a Roomba first. Just something really simple, but something that is like a smart device, basically. So it would all start with like something as simple as a Roomba. That was dumb. Oh, what? I just made not a great move there either. Oh, man. This is like my own worst enemy playthrough. It's no surprise to me, I am my own worst enemy. Oh, fuck. You had a Roomba and named it Alfred? Alright, let's do Marble Madness. This game takes, like, no time at all. I actually wouldn't mind, like, timing myself. Who wants to, like, see here? I guess I'll do a stopwatch on my phone, but I wonder if I can put, like, a stopwatch on the screen. Like, if there's a timer widget. Wonder if I have that. Hold on, everybody. I just started the wrong game accidentally. All right. All right, let's see here. Marble Madness. This game is tough. Check out this popcorn I found yesterday. Okay, now I show it. There we go. Mexican street corn popcorn. It's pretty fucking good. Elote is what they call it, I guess. Or elote, I don't know. Either way, still good. James Stillwell, welcome in, man. How are you? Oh yeah, Donkey Kong on NES. Yeah. All right, I'm in. That popcorn will have you. So, oh my god. It's delicious. Yeah, ever since I went to California, I like stuff like elote and tahine on my mango. I have family in Cali. I love it out there. So, off-road, and then Tetris. Or no, Donkey Kong. Oh no. James said, doing well, lurking at the moment. I am doing well. Thank you for asking. No. There we go. Everything you know is wrong. ADD has lost his marbles. It's like just enough time. That game is freaking tough, man. Chris says pro plays. The sounds of dying marbles. I wonder if anyone else, I know there's other people in the world who can beat Marble Madness. But I wonder how many people on Facebook Gaming can beat Marble Madness. Awesome that this game was 4 players. But the name for this game, Iron Man Ivan Stewart's Super Off-Road. The name for this game is so long. Like, why couldn't they have just called it Super Off-Road? I need to get 4 people together and play this game sometime. That would be kind of fun. I gotta see if I still have 4 friends. Kidding. It would be fun. The 4-player NES stream. Do I have a limited amount of those? Or can I always jump forward like that? You got second? That's not bad. It does need to be on Switch Online, but Switch Online doesn't allow for 4 players, though. Whatever, Phil. At least you played one good game as a kid, Chris. Good lord, man. Black Bass is awful. At least you played something fun. I'm just kidding, Chris. Oh yeah, no, this game is great. It is a simple concept, but yeah. You know, like, I mean, you know, the concept of Marble Madness is roll the marble. It's so simple, but it gets personal. That's funny. Oh, I have to pay for every individual nitro brews that I get? Going the other way this time. Oh, geez. Oh. I'm really far ahead of the first two guys. Or the last two. Damn. Keep missing the money. That's 50K he just picked up. Alright. Hard to believe I was been watching you for almost 5 years. You're one of the very first streamers I ever started watching. Time flies by. Yeah, it does, man. Thanks for that. I appreciate your time watching, Tommy. It's crazy, dude. Yeah. Let's see here. I'll just say I'll get to Kyle's comment in just a moment. Uh-oh. Wait, I took second at the last second. My little one's waking up. I can't do that anymore. Oh, I don't have any cash. Did it make me start over? Well, I tried my best on that, Chris. I got further than I've ever gotten on that. I had a lot of fun too. So good news, by the way, I've made progress with my legs, hips, and back. The level of physical pain I was in last week is now a night and day. That's great. Glad to hear, says Chris. Like my muscles have had a shaky connection to my brain and it's getting stronger. Like I thought I was moving a certain way when I wasn't and everything was so tight. Interesting. He wants Donkey Kong Jr. I'll play both. They're so short. months. Oh man. Did you just wake up? He said, I just woke up, damn it. You're okay. You're probably ready for some food. Jay says toots. After Donkey Kong, buddy, we're gonna go get you so much food. We're gonna mash up some carrots and some peas and make you a big mushy mush mess of food. I'm gonna eat the rest of that pot pie. Hi, baby. Hey, Phil. Requests are over. Mushy Mush Mess was a rapper name, really? You know who are the best rappers? Those old ladies at the mall during Christmas. They were the best rappers. AD pre-chews the food to mix it up. Gross. There's actually a lady online who does that. Like, instead of cutting all her food, she chews it all and spits it all back in there. I suffered severe back pain from my job and had to go to physical therapy and want to not be here. It was so severe. Oh man, better now, years later. There you go, Chris. I know. I know. They got them folds on point, says Jacob. Indeed, they do, Jacob Rose. Nice to see you got here, Jacob. I see you rose to the occasion. I was struck from behind by a truck that had to be going at least 55 miles an hour, and yeah, apparently does take a long time to recover. Oh my god, that's crazy. I couldn't imagine. So what's funny is, did you guys know when you are playing Donkey Kong Jr., you are playing the Donkey Kong that is grown up in Donkey Kong Country. And Cranky Kong is the original Donkey Kong who's up there in the cage. So this is DK. This ain't Diddy. Diddy Kong. Hi. Hi. I do. I do. Are you just sitting there like looking up at me smiling? That's a lot of monkey history. Trust me, ADD, you don't want to. I've seen sides of myself I never wanted to see again. And I mean that section of my legs that was, oh no. Oh, yeah. Sweet. Big thanks again, Jay, popping in on YouTube. Thanks again for the stars over on the book, man. No. Hey, Mark Popolizio, welcome in. Oh my god. Oh, what the hell? Really? My son gets so mad at his toys that he falls over. It's so funny to watch him. Oh, no. They told me I was gonna need a cane. I said, heck no. Excuse me, can you say that again? I don't think so. Well, I didn't have that kind of injury. It was from delivering 800-pound appliances for years. I can't compare, but it's all relative. My insurance ran out when the therapy started helping. Oh, man, of course. Hi! Are you getting hungry? Are you getting hungry? Oh. No! I keep missing. I keep missing. I know! I'm frustrated too. You hungry? He's giving me these big smiles. Telling me he's hungry. There's worse ways you could tell me that you're hungry. All right. If I miss this time, let's get going, Nathan. Let's go make some food. All right, all right. I know. Okay, let me just try this one more time, and then we'll get food. I promise. All right. Can I get it? No. Oh. Come on, Bubby. Oh, all right. I tried. This game's really tough. I have beaten this game, but this guy's hungry. I tell you what, Kyle Haley, I will start ending more of my streams with Donkey Kong and even off-road. All right, I'm going to end on Twitch. Take it easy, everybody. Have a good one on Twitch. Take care on TikTok. Have a good one, everybody. I don't know how to raid on TikTok, or else I would. Yeah, I just don't know how, so take it easy. All right, have a good one on YouTube. Thank you so much, everybody, for everything. Real quickly here, let me add up those super chats, that the super sticker that Kyle Haley sent that hasn't added up here. So let's see here. So it's going to be 668 is what we're at on YouTube for the day. 668. All right. So here we go. 668 on YouTube and 1350 on the book. Thank you so much. Let's see where our monthly is now on YouTube. We are so close to hitting let's see, 100,000. What? Wait, what would that be? 110,000, I guess. 110,000 stars. So that's awesome. Let me update that here real quick. Woo! Okay, we're going. Yeah, 110,000 stars is what we'd be at. So awesome. All right, everybody. I'm going to go ahead and end here. Hey, Kyle, thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that. Definitely appreciate the support. I'll talk to you guys soon on YouTube. Thank you so much, and I will be back later today. Take care, good